report. We're also learning more this morning about the legal battle over President Trump's move to send National Guard troops to Portland, Oregon. NBC News senior White House correspondent Gabe Gutierrez has the details.
Overnight, protests and clashes over President Trump's planned troop deployment to Portland, Oregon. The state's attorney general, joined by the city of Portland, now suing the administration, arguing the president lacks the authority to federalize the National Guard.
Portland is, I don't know how anybody lives there. It's amazing, but it's anarchy out there.
In the court filing, Oregon's Democratic AG providing a memo from the Trump administration with plans to send 200 members of the National Guard to Portland for 60 days. The president, in an exclusive interview with NBC News, calling Portland a hotbed of insurrection.
There is no insurrection. There is no threat to national security, and there is no need for military troops in our major city.
Trump has previously sent troops to Los Angeles and Washington, D.C., and has announced a planned deployment to Memphis while threatening to do so to other Democratic-run cities.
I'd prefer not to have troops in our cities, or I'd prefer them only to come, with the acceptance of the local authorities. But I do think there is a role if the states will not step up.
Meanwhile, after last week's deadly shooting at an ICE field office in Dallas, and the clash between anti-ICE protesters and federal officers Friday at a detention facility outside Chicago, Attorney General Pam Bondi announcing she's deploying agents from the Justice Department to secure ICE buildings nationwide.
We're witnessing a new era of political violence.
It all comes as hundreds of senior military leaders from around the world travel to Quantico, Virginia for a rare gathering called by Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth. The president in a phone call with NBC News on Sunday saying he plans to attend.
Let him be friendly with the generals and admirals from all over the world.
NBC's Gabe Gutierrez reporting. In a moment, we're going to speak live with Oregon Attorney General Dan Rayfield. But first, let's bring in retired four-star Army General Barry McCaffrey. He's an NBC News and MSNBC military analyst.
General, as always, thank you so much for being here. I talked earlier, we talked to General Hurtling and said that we'd always ask in Armed Services Committee meetings on the Hill about the readiness, about the morale, about the quality of life for our troops in uniform. And I asked the General, I'll ask you, what concerns do you have about our National Guard troops and, in the case of Los Angeles, Marines going out and roaming around the streets, and in Washington, in the case of Washington, picking up trash in parks? How does that impact readiness, and how does that hurt morale?
Look, the bottom line to all this is the National Guard is a national treasure. There's 430,000 of them. They're extremely well disciplined. They're equipped. They took part in the war on terror with us and suffered substantial casualties. They're our friends and neighbors. Now, having said that, they're lousy cops. And basically, the country's built-in constitutional safeguard says Posse Comitatus Act and other legislation, the military doesn't arrest people, collect evidence, or prosecute. So this is all a political stunt. Now, having said that, there's also clearly, if you're going to try and remove 10 or 12 million hardworking Latinos primarily who run the agricultural system, service industry, construction, then there's going to be a tremendous war going on in the streets between ICE and people who are being terrorized. So there is a problem out there, but it should be solved by local community policing and state police, not the National Guard.
Let me ask you about this meeting Pete Hegseth, Secretary of Defense, has called of generals and admirals all over the world. And we now find out that it's in effect this guy giving generals a pep talk and talking about warrior culture, again, lecturing men mainly, but some women who have been in uniform now for decades and been basically in a state of warfare for the past 20 years. What are your thoughts?
Well, exactly. Look, this will be a very respectful audience tomorrow. our culture, our political culture in the country says there's two civilians only, the President and the Secretary of Defense, who give orders to the armed forces. I think Secretary Hegseth had no idea what he was doing, calling a no-notice meeting without specifying what the topic would be. I think he did want to harangue the senior enlisted and military leaders of the country about warrior culture. It's a hard one to pull off. These people, as you say, grew up in 20 years of combat, from lieutenant or E1 to the end of their career. They're now serving. And then I think President Trump had no idea what was going on, learned of it, horns in. This ought to be a very unusual, almost comical session. Why did he draw attention to this as if we were going to go to war over, Greenland or something? So it's a real mess.
So I want you to explain to those who may not be familiar with the military's culture, with tradition and honor and duty and service, how generals, admirals that will be attending here, they're apolitical. They may have their views and they may have their beliefs, but if Pete Hegseth or the president expects them to give them a rousing standing ovation tomorrow, talk, if you will, about what a breach that would be.
And by the way, that's a small point that a lot of civilians don't understand. A military audience doesn't applaud or take enthusiastic recognition of a speech by a senior officer. I have a feeling they're going to pass a word it better look like that on TV on this one. Look, this is all such an unusual situation. The day the American people make a final determination on an elected president, the military completely, 100%, switches over to being respectful and supportive under the law with this new administration. By the way, they all come in nervous about these generals with all their ribbons and are they going to pay any attention to us? Normally in about 3 to 6 months, they realize, no, these people actually know what they're doing and they are going to be compliant with our policy directives. This administration has been chaotic. Now, Secretary Hegseth actually has a combat infantry badge, served in Iraq and Afghanistan, a nice Princeton grad. There's every indication that he could have been very successful. But so far, it looks shallow, sort of quixotic. It's a drama going on constantly. Some of it looks lawless or doesn't take into account existing American values. This is a messy situation, and it's not good for U.S. national security.